Good morning, everybody. My name is Candida Steele, and I'm a judge on the U.S. Civilian Board of Contract Appeals. I hear government contract disputes across the country. And to my right?
I'm Rick Hardy. I'm one of the Hardy Boys, and I'm a professor and chair of the Department of Political Science at Western Illinois University. I've been with the program since 1987.
I'm Fred Ansell. I'm an attorney with the Department of Justice. I used to be a Senate staff. I staffed hearings in this very room.
Great. And as you all know, we are Unit 4. You're prepared for Unit 4, right? And the question that will be...
You got to introduce me.
I'm sorry, please introduce yourselves.
Good morning, my name is Scott Schubert.
I'm Doni Abdulhazim.
Good morning, my name is Scott Shapsis.
Good morning, my name is Emmanuel Tadbit, and this is our teacher, Mr. Broadman.
Good morning.
Hi. Good morning, how are you? I'm sorry not to have asked you to do that. The question, not my name, the question that we're dealing with today is Congress is the only national legislature in the world whose members are elected both separately from the executive branch and entirely from single-member districts. What are the benefits or advantages of this arrangement? What might be the advantages of mingling executive and legislative powers, such as in the British parliamentary system, the disadvantages? Why has the creation of congressional districts been controversial throughout American history? You may begin.
The advantages of Congress being elected separately from the executive are that it limits executive influence in Congress, allows the electorate to choose individuals as opposed to parties, and provides better checks and balances in the parliament. Because Congress is elected separately from the president, they don't owe their election to the executive and can therefore be more independent to better reflect their constituents. Another advantage is that the electorate can vote for individuals as opposed to the party. Our system separates the two in the minds of the electorate and allows the people to choose representatives based on their individual positions. The advantages of Congress being elected from single-member districts are that it protects voting rights, maximizes accountability, and ensures better representation. Professor Stanley Inkbar notes, the use of multi-member districts can eradicate the political voice of a minority. After the 1965 Voting Rights Act, Southern states resorted to winner-take-all at large elections to dilute the voting strength of newly enfranchised blacks. Single-member districts better achieve equality of representation. In Westbury v. Sanders, the Supreme Court ruled that districts need to be equitable in terms of population. Single-member districts also allow for a better reflection of the polity, as minority viewpoints in a state can be better represented.
The advantages of mingling executive and legislative powers are efficiency of government and sharing of responsibility. Greater efficiency occurs because the branches work together, since members are from the same party and look to the same individual as their leader. This efficiency can be seen both in the formulation of laws as well as in the ability to enact legislation. According to University of Notre Dame professor Nanahal Singh, a parliamentary system assures that every major thing the executive asks for will be enacted. Also, the executive is from Parliament and can be held accountable by the people, as the two institutions are interconnected. This was affirmed by British historian James Bryce, who noted that if the government makes errors, the people can blame both the cabinet and the majority party.
The disadvantages of mingling powers include political instability, executive dictation of policy, and minimal checks on the government. With the prime minister selected by the party in power, it can shift frequently, causing disorder within the system. The Fourth French Republic's average tenure of office was 7 to 10 months, leading to difficulty achieving national goals. Mingling the executive and legislature can also, as Arthur Schlesinger puts it, assure the unassailable dominance of the executive over the legislature in formulating policy. Our parliamentary system gives primary decision-making to the cabinet and allows the cabinet to influence legislators into accepting his wishes based on party loyalty. In 1956, British Prime Minister Anthony Eden secretly planned the invasion of Egypt with only the knowledge of his cabinet and party insiders, leading to one of the greatest policy blunders in British history. In addition, there are minimal checks on the government, as Parliament and the executive are from the same party and work together, diminishing the influence of the opposition party or branch-based checks found in the American system.
The creation of congressional districts has been controversial because of the importance of voting in a democratic republic and the potentially significant impact that redistricting can have. Gerrymandering has been used by the state legislators to redraw voting districts which, according to Charles Austin Beard, can be used by a dominant party to make its own vote go as far as possible and its opponent's vote to count for as little as possible. In 2006, the Supreme Court upheld Texas's unprecedented mid-decade redistricting plan, intended to give Republicans greater influence in Congress. University of Mississippi professor Jonathan Winburn stated that this action presents the fear of a process in which the representatives have selected the people, rather than one in which the people select the representatives. Gerrymandering has also been used to suppress minorities' voting rights. In Baker v. Carr, the underrepresentation of blacks that resulted from redrawing districts was deemed a violation of equal protection. Every decade, when the census redetermines the population and the state has to redistrict, controversies become prevalent, as did in 2000 in New Jersey, which led to a bipartisan committee with one independent who ended up making the decision.
Thank you very much.
Sure. What do you think the ideal size of Congress should be? Congress, as it stated in the Constitution, started out with one member for every 30,000. Today we'd have roughly 10,000 members of Congress. What do you think would be the ideal size of representation?
I think that right now the size of representation is basically at the limits that it can handle. If we were to make more representation for all these different groups of people, all these different populations, we'd have so many representatives in Congress that we would never be able to get anything done. Already we see with the healthcare reform, we're having tremendous difficulty in getting these two different parties and all these different people to agree on the same issues.
I feel that making Congress too small would also be detrimental. I feel that the sizes would be best if we had Congress acting too small, and we would not be able to adequately reflect all of the needs of the people and really get the advantages of having these direct elections where the representatives come to the people for their approval. We need this sort of balance. I feel that around where we are right now is probably the optimal size of Congress.
I think that it is possible that there are too many congressional members in our Congress today. I think that if congressional districts were enlarged a bit to lessen the amount of members in Congress, we'd be able to have more representation of a variety of different people in each district rather than having minuscule districts across each state.
As we see in the House of Representatives, that the fact that they have this large number of people, it's very hard to get more deliberation in, and it's very hard to get everyone to agree on a compromise. However, in the Senate, because of the small body that they have in there, there's more compromising, there's more tactics, so to say, to get something passed, which includes like filibustering, more decisions being made past and forth. So I feel like the small number in the Senate is very beneficial. However, in the House of Representatives, it balances out. So essentially, our government right now, in the way it is with the representative, is the optimal way to have it.
In 1961, after the Bay of Pigs invasion, President Kennedy called in the CIA director, and he said to him, if we had a parliamentary system, I would have to resign. But we have a presidential system, so you're going to have to resign. What do you think causes that difference? And which of the two systems do you think handles that better?
I think that one of the causes of that system is that in a parliamentary system, the executive is an instrument of the legislative branch. They have the ability to vote a prime minister out of office if he is not going along with what the legislative branch wants to see occur. In that way, it is much more readily available to have a prime minister leave office rather than it is to see a president leave office. A president typically has to complete his term and watch his popularity rate go down unless it reaches the point where an impeachment process has to take place in which he must be convicted before he leaves office.